What's going on, everybody? We're going to give everybody a few more minutes to kind of get on in here as we get ready to get this show started in just a bit. Y'all make sure y'all share this show out. We're going to be talking Lions, and we're going to be talking the injury front. And we're definitely going to have a lot of fun. We got so much more coming up. So thank y'all for joining me tonight. Y'all make sure y'all share this show out. And let's get everybody in here. We're going to get ready to get started in just a few moments. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday, a good hump day. And we're going to get ready to get this road on the freaking show. So everybody just come on in and sit on down, and we're going to have some fun. And again, I hope everybody's having a good hump day. Thank y'all for tuning in. And we are about to get this show started. Let's get going. Titans and Truth next.
Let's get Titans up, Titans up. I've been scoping from the sideline, waiting for the right time to send the precious team to scrimmage. So I'm busting y'all. Welcome to We got this here, don't worry about it. We got this here, we just see it so. Out your lap, don't worry about it. See, we got this here. It's a brand new dance and it's about to go live. Tighten up, Nashville, rep the 615. First you tighten 2 steps, step to the right. Then you tighten 2 step to the left. Blue jerseys everywhere. Game face, yeah, we got it all. Sticking out our chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Count that. He's about to get her up. Here come the train, y'all. Tennessee, tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Tighten 2 steps to the right. Then you tighten 2 steps to the left. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Third down.
Good evening, Titan Nation. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to a brand new edition of Titans and Truth. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. BluEnforcer, and we're going to have a really good episode on this evening. I see AZ Big in here early, as always. Make sure y'all share this show out. Make sure y'all share this out to everybody. Let everybody know that this show is going on right now, and that is exactly what I am in the middle of doing as we speak, is making sure we share this show out to the rest of the world so that everybody know what the best content of Titans news you're going to have is right here on Titans and Truth. So I'm glad everybody is in. I hope everybody's doing well. We're going to get this thing rolling. And, of course, starting off with you know, some news of the week, the Wednesday report. Of course, the Titans were back at it, practicing, getting ready for this game against Detroit. And, of course, there has been some injury news that has come out in regards to this game. And I'm actually going to bring that information up right here. So it's covering my face, but y'all will be able to see it. This is what's happening right now. This is as of Wednesday's practice. As you can see, there's a lot of names on there. You see that Dennis Kelly, Roger Saffold, Jeffrey Simmons did not practice. Of course, they usually get some time off. Jeff Swaim is on the list with a ankle injury. And now this is one that's actually pretty concerning to me right now, is Kenny Vaccaro. Kenny Vaccaro, he missed Sunday's game due to an illness, and it looks like it's still bothering him right now. I'm hoping it's not COVID or anything like that, or, hate for anybody to be sick for any reason. And what's up, everybody? I'm glad everybody is here. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Kenny Vaccaro being sick. I mean, it could be, it could be the flu, because it is flu season. And or pneumonia. I was sick with pneumonia, and I was down for about 2 weeks. So it ain't nothing to play with. So you definitely got to be on your P's and Q's when it comes to any type of illness. We see A.J. Brown, Christian Fulton back, and Adoree Jackson for the first time on the report. Limited participation, because they normally don't put him on the report even if he's limited. But I don't know. Like I said, with Fulton and Adoree, I take it with a grain of salt. Don't know if these guys are actually going to go or not. But that is something that we're definitely going to find out in the coming days. Again, I am not really expecting either guy to play, but I hope that they do, because they both need some run. They both need some run going into the postseason, which is pretty much a foregone formality, at least in my opinion. Right now, is that the Titans are going to be in the playoffs, and I don't see why they should be able to get a couple of games in so that they can be ready for the postseason. On the other side, for Detroit, you see you got some guys that didn't practice. Kenny Golladay didn't practice. Frank Ragnow, there was a report that just came out with him that he's dealing with some type of throat injury, a fractured throat or something, which leaves his timetable for this game very uncertain as well. And a big name that you notice that's on this list is Matthew Stafford, dealing with ribs and a thumb injury. And right now his timetable is up in the air as well. And there was some report that I believe came out from ESPN, I can't remember, but it said they are not very optimistic about Matthew Stafford playing in this upcoming game. So that's something to keep in mind on. Adrian Peterson was limited today, which, Adrian Peterson is a warrior, so I kind of expect him to be out there. But, that is definitely some news. That is something to keep an eye on as this week goes on. Again, y'all make sure y'all share this show out. Let everybody know what's going on as more of you come on in to the show. But, yes, if Matthew Stafford can't go, it looks like Chase Daniel would be under center for Detroit in this very, very important game for the Tennessee Titans. And, this is something that we'll talk about later in the BluEnforcer 4 points to victory. This is a team you better not overlook. You cannot overlook any team. You don't have the right to overlook anybody right now. So don't be looking ahead to Green Bay. Take care of business right here. I see Valtoria saying Henry for MVP. What's up, K True? Tighten Up Podcast. What's going on? Zach Carpenter, what's up with you? King Isaac, what's going on? Y'all make sure y'all share the show out. Tell everybody I want some likes. I want plenty of likes. So make sure y'all help a brother out. I'm on the road to 1,000. So y'all help me get there. We on this road together. So let's keep this thing going. King Isaac says 300 yards for Derrick Henry. I'm calling it. He could have yet another big game, and if he does have another 200-some yard game, that makes getting to 2,000 a whole lot easier. So that's something that that could be very, very important. So we'll definitely see about that. Also, what I want to show you as well, like I said, is gonna cover my face a little bit, so y'all will probably still see me, but here this is. The Tennessee Titans have some playoff scenarios where they could clinch. So this is how they could clinch a playoff spot this week. Obviously, of victory would definitely help. Like for example, I think the simplest one of all is that if we win and Baltimore loses on Sunday, if that happens, the Tennessee Titans are in. They're in the playoffs no matter what. And, that's part of the pressure that would be off, is that we would be in the playoffs. Another scenario would be a Titans win along with a Raiders loss and a Miami loss, and Cleveland would have to win for us to get in. Or the Titans win, Vegas and Miami lose, and something with Tennessee or Cleveland clinching strength of victory tiebreaker over Miami, which I'm not really sure how that works as far as strength of victory necessarily. I'm not sure exactly how that goes. So if anybody has any knowledge of that, feel free to chime in and let me know of that. But those are the three ways the Tennessee Titans could clinch a playoff spot Sunday. They could definitely get in. A victory will definitely help, but a victory, of course, does not guarantee a playoff spot unless like Baltimore loses or some of those other teams go down as well. But hey, we are close. We are definitely close. We've clinched another winning season, which will be our 5th straight winning season. And, we have a chance Sunday to clinch our first double-digit win season since 2008. So that is something that I am looking forward to, is the Tennessee Titans getting to 10 wins. So that's something that we definitely should be looking forward to. Trying to see about some other news that maybe I, missed and everything. There was some other news that, some personal news as far as, Titans and anything around Nashville and around Tennessee that I will get to more towards the end of the show that kind of caught my eye, that we'll definitely talk about. But, I mean, Derrick Henry, the king, the Beast King, is doing it. Wow. I mean, back-to-back 1,500-yard seasons. Hasn't happened in a very, very long time that somebody's had back-to-back and very well needs a touchdown to be the first player in a while to have back-to-back 1,500-yard, 15 touchdown seasons. So that is definitely something to behold. I mean, it's something special that we are witnessing with Derrick Henry. And think about this. He's only 8 yards. All he needs is 9 yards, and he eclipses what he already did last year in winning the rushing title. That 9 yards, that's it. He's at 1,532 yards right now. What's up on Facebook? I mean, he gets that, he's going to easily win the rushing title, in my honest opinion. K-True said the simplest and actually the hardest, because the Ravens all have easy schedule, Jags and Bengals. So, yeah, I mean, we got to keep taking care of business. That's the main thing that we have to do. We have to keep winning. We can't really worry about anybody else. If we keep winning, then there will be a scenario where, hey, either we just win and we're in, or division title, or if somebody loses, no matter what happens with us, we win. So that's something to think about. Now, for example, Thursday night, the Raiders are at home against the Chargers. So that might be something that we have to pay attention to. Another game that we may have to be paying attention to, Colts and Texans. And the reason why I say that is because if the Texans beat the Colts, I think that pretty much will solidify us as winning the division as far as division record. All we will have to make sure we do is either finish tied or with a better overall record than the Colts. Because the Colts, if they lose to the Texans, they would have 3 division losses. All week, the most amount of division losses we could have is 2 because we're 4-1. So if the Colts lose to the Texans, winning the division could be a lot easier. And then if they lose to Pittsburgh before we play Sunday Night Football, we may have the division wrapped up before we even take the field in Lambeau, which I would love that scenario. That's what I dream of. Let's have the division wrapped up before we play Green Bay. So then that way, Green Bay, we're playing with house money. That's what I want. But until Green Bay, we take care of Detroit first. The Ravens are playing the Jags, so Ravens losing, I doubt that's going to happen. I mean, Gardner Minshew is going to be the starting quarterback going forward for the Jags, but I mean, I know that's not going to matter because, I mean, the Jags stink, and we showed that this week. So it's really not anything to worry about. So, again, we got to take care of our own business. That's what it all boils down to. Joseph says, that was a better looking playoff graphic than what Rufus posted on Facebook. Look, hey, I tried to find a good one. So, definitely one that kind of explains. I was going to make a graphic, but I didn't have enough time. Pete says, the sooner we can wrap up the division and take care of business, we can rest some players. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to rest a bunch of players because I don't want it to be like the Baltimore situation. I would like for our players to get a little bit of action. I understand rest of guys don't want to risk no injury or anything like that. But I would say maybe like that last game against the Texans, have some guys start, and then you slowly start to fickle some guys out as the night goes on. So that might be something I would do, like a preseason game, for example. K-True said we have to win at least 11. 10-6 will not get us in the playoffs unless we win the division. I won't necessarily say that. I mean, true enough, there are a lot of teams that are close to that 9-win threshold. I mean, Cleveland's got 9 wins. I believe Miami is right there at 9, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, it is not going to be easy. It's definitely not going to be easy. Zach, you gave me a question that I think we're going to save for Pick My Brain, and I definitely like that. So, let's go ahead and give out the Two-Tone Blue Star of the Week. I mean, there's quite a few nominees to go around. I mean, you could start with the obvious. The King, Derrick Henry, of course, had a 215-yard day. You could go with A.J. Brown, who, had 7 catches for 112 yards. You could go that way. You could go defensively with Malcolm Butler. You could definitely go Gostowski making all of his kicks. Definitely. So those are a couple of ways that you could definitely go as far as the Two-Tone Blue Star of the Week. So I want to get some of y'all thoughts on that. Who do y'all think is the Two-Tone Blue Star of the Week? Make sure y'all leave your comments down on there. I see a few coming in already. Money Cartel says, Easy the King. Pete Hicks got some crowns, so we know that means the King. Zach is going with Malcolm Butler. On Facebook says King Henry all day. Tighten Up Podcast says Malcolm Butler. AZ Mick is going with A.J. Brown. Let's see, Money Cartel says if it wasn't the Jags, I would say Butler, but Derek deserves the credit. Now, again, I would definitely I like a lot of those picks. I really do. I definitely like a lot of those and everything, but I mean, I definitely am starting to sway one way. I mean, yes, I would like to go a little bit differently with that because, I mean, A.J. Brown had a heck of a game. It was nice to see, even though it was the Jags, it was nice to see Malcolm Butler have a good game. I mean, he's been pretty solid throughout the season. Ty Smith had a nice game, not terrible. Even though Byard didn't have an interception, he looked good. And I mean, all in all, the defense, even though it was the Jags, it was a great confidence builder. It's a confidence builder, and maybe in their mind they're thinking, you know what? We can be a good defense. We can do this. So that would be something. Joseph says AJ for that crazy one-handed touchdown. Zach Carpenter says special teams as a whole deserves love. True. Gostowski made all of his kicks. Brett Kern did his usual. Executed the fake punt on fourth down. Was actually very good. And everything. So yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of good nominees to go around, but I will definitely have to say it's a good obvious one on this one. As much as I definitely want to give A.J. Brown some love, and he deserves an honorable mention, him and Malcolm Butler, it's a foregone conclusion, y'all. The two-tone blue star of the week has to be none other than I got to put the crown on that man's head, Derrick freaking Henry. The king is on his throne. He made the Jags, and he's going to make all these other teams bend the knee as usual. So bend the knee, bow down to the king, and bow down. All hail King Henry. All hail King Henry. I'm going to say it again. All hail King Henry. When you see that man, you just do nothing but you bow your head. You bow your head, or you just do a little dab towards them. You really show the king treatment. And I mean, there's a show I'm binge watching on Netflix right now called The Tudors, which is based about King Henry VIII of England. And, thought it looked like he would be, a good king, but he's really more of an evil king, more maniacal and stuff like that. But it just seemed like he commands respect. And that's the thing that Derrick Henry does. He commands respect. He doesn't even ask for it. I mean, he's very soft-spoken. He doesn't really just, he's not a guy that just goes out there and just be like, I'm the best. You got to respect me. He lets his play do it for him. And it's just, when you see him play, you just want to just get down. You just be like, it's like Ric Flair. It's like Ric Flair in WWE or WCW. When you see Ric Flair, it's like you go, woo! And you just bow. You just bow and know that he is the GOAT. He is the king. You just bow down. Hear ye, hear ye. Or as King Booker, all hail King Henry. I'm sorry, y'all. I went a little crazy on that, but I'm just enjoying myself with that. Zach Carpenter says, all hail our Lord and Savior, King Henry. Like that. But I will give a shout out to the Duke of Downtown, A.J. Brown. I kind of like that. The Duke of Downtown, A.J. Brown. I kind of like that right there. So, again, King Henry. But whenever there's a star of the week, there is a dunce of the day. And, there's really not any Titan players that could be dunce of the day worthy. I mean, one could be Jeremy McNichols. He didn't really have a good game at all. I mean, I don't have nothing bad to say about Logan Woodside or anything for the few snaps that he got in. I'm trying to think who maybe didn't play well. I mean, Malcolm Butler could have had 2 picks, but I'm not really going to talk bad about him on that. I would definitely have to say even Jags players could be in on that. And I think there's one Jag player in particular that I could definitely put a dunce of the day to. But I do like where some of y'all are going, and I do agree. Let's see. Money Cartel says the pass rush. Titan Podcast says D-line. Joseph says the Jaguar organization for that field turf. Now, there were a lot of problems with that field turf. That is very, very true. That field turf is definitely a problem. Was definitely a problem during the game. So I definitely agree. Zach brings up a good point. Arthur Smith for that stupid fourth down call. I don't know if that was him or more Tannehill. Basically it felt like it was rushed. So I definitely agree with that. So again, who do y'all think is the dunce of the day? Is it the pass rush? Is it Jeremy McNichols? Was it Arthur Smith for that terrible 4th and 2 call? Mike Glennon just looked horrible in this game for the Jags. And I mean, Doug Marrone is probably on his way out. They're already going to be looking for a new general manager, which I would probably venture to say they're going to be probably looking for a new head coach as well. So the Jags organization is just flat out garbage. And it's good for us. It's definitely good for us. Let's see. P. Hicks had D-line. Zach Carpenter says, hate to say it, but Corey Davis had an off day, only 3 catches and that fumble. Now, that's true, too. Corey Davis did have a fumble. Money Cartel said they're going to draft Justin Fields. That's probably what will happen because, I mean, the Jets are going to draft Trevor Lawrence, but it wouldn't surprise me if it depends on who their new general manager is or if they have one. So, I mean, they could be trying to trade. It wouldn't surprise me if the Jags try to trade for more picks. I could definitely see that. But the dunce of the day, definitely, in my opinion, does have to go to the front 4, the defensive line. And, I mean, even though Jeffrey Simmons has played well for most of the season, I have to include him in this because the fact of the matter is the Tennessee Titans with this bad Jaguars team could not even register a sack, even on Mike Glennon. I mean, I know Derek Roberson got close, but close doesn't count. Almost doesn't count, as Brandy would say in her song. But this pass rush is pathetic. It is horrible. It is non-existent. And I mean, I know a lot of people will say, well, Harold Landry's got 4.5 sacks. Harold Landry is supposed to be our 10-sack guy, and he ain't even getting there a lot. They were supposed to be trying to dial back his snaps, but I mean, think about this. Vic Beasley was horrible. Clowney was horrible. Although I will, both of them were horrible. Derek Roberson is a backup player. Harold Landry needs a better player on the other side of him. He needs a stud on the other side to make him better. Harold Landry is a good number 2 pass rusher. He is not going to be a number 1 pass rusher. I'm sorry, that's the truth. Harold Landry is not a number 1 pass rusher. He is not a guy that I look to the other side and I'm like, oh my God, I got to watch out for Harold Landry. I'm not afraid. Jeffrey Simmons, maybe. He probably takes on a lot of double teams. Tier Tart coming back could be nice to help. Because, I mean, I think he did pretty good. But, again, this pass rush is just awful. 13 games, only 14 sacks. That is less than a sack a game. There are other teams that have 2-3 times the sacks that we have. It's pathetic. And that tells me, and that also makes me put blame on John Robinson. It puts blame on John Robinson because they failed to address the issue. They could have addressed the pass rush issue. Look at what happened with the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday. Hassan Reddick has think about this. He has more sacks. He had more sacks in that game by himself than the Tennessee Titans have had in about the last 3 or 4 games combined. Hassan Reddick by himself had 5 sacks. By himself. He already came into the game with 5 sacks. He got 5 more that day. He got 10 sacks. Had 5 in one game. Now, granted, the Giants' offensive line is horrible. But, I mean, think about this. We were playing a complete makeshift offensive line of Cincinnati, and we couldn't get a sack on Joe Burrow. Couldn't even touch him. And this dude has 10 sacks. We have 14 sacks as a team. This dude has 10 sacks alone. Myles Garrett has almost 11 sacks alone. Notice how bad that sounds? That's just horrible. Monty Cartel says Harold Landry is tired, but no excuses. He should be better. I agree. I understand. But, hey, you pay to play. You're paid to play a lot of snaps. So get out there and get the job done. Zach Harper says, too bad the Jags and Jets don't play week 17 to see who would try to throw the game more. Yeah, that would be a fun game to watch. Be like, which team would be the worst? So that's that on that. Yeah, dunce of the day definitely is the pass rush. Without a doubt. I definitely agree with all of that. So now it is time for your favorite part and mine, and it is time to pick my brain. Pick my brain. So y'all know what to do. Hit me up with some questions. I know I had a few. I know I got 1 or 2 on Facebook, and I'm definitely going to address that. In just a bit. But yeah, I mean, give me some questions. I know I had one already, so let's go ahead and get into that. I know Zach brought up what would it take for Derrick Henry to be MVP? It will probably take a little bit. I mean, I think if Derrick Henry does get to 2,000 yards, then I don't see that being, I see that being a winning factor. The fact is, it's very rare for running backs to get to 2,000 yards. I believe only 7 have done it. Only 7 running backs in the history of football, of NFL football, have reached 2,000 yards. I want to say, and I know I'm not going to get all 7, but I want to say we know Chris Johnson, Adrian Peterson, Eric Dickerson, O.J. Simpson. I know that's 4 right there. Terrell Davis is 5. I know I'm slipping on 2 of them. I want to say Sean Alexander is 6. I cannot remember the last one. I think I might have said Adrian Peterson. Already. But yeah, Chris Johnson, Peterson, O.J. Simpson, Sean Alexander, Eric Dickerson, Jamal Lewis, thank you. Jamal Lewis is 6, and I cannot remember the last one for the life of me. I know there's one more that's slipping off of my tongue as far as that, but there were 7 guys that's done it. 7 guys that have hit it. And I mean, I think if Derrick Henry gets to 2,000, I mean, it would definitely win him the MVP, in my opinion. And we would make history. We would be the only NFL team that can say they have 2 1,000-yard rushers. Marshall Faulk had over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. He didn't have a 2,000-yard season. Barry Sanders, thank you. Barry. That was the last one. I don't know how I forgot Barry. I don't know how I forgot Barry Sanders. I have no idea. I don't know how I forgot Barry Sanders, but that's who it was. Money Cartel said we need 2,000 plus yards, at least 25 touchdowns. And think about this. Derrick Henry will have to average 156 yards a game the rest of the way to get to 2,000. And if you want kicks and giggles, and I mentioned this last night, if Derrick Henry could even has a very slim, small outside shot at the record. But he would have to average about 191 yards per game to beat Eric Dickerson's record. So that is something right there. And again, I know some people are saying that Sean Alexander was not a 2,000-yard rusher. I'm actually going to bring up that list. Let's see. Yeah, there were 7. Eric Dickerson, Adrian Peterson, Jamal Lewis, Barry Sanders, Terrell Davis, Chris Johnson, O.J. Simpson. So that is 7. Sean Alexander was not on the list. So that was my fault. Wasn't Sean Alexander. But those are the 7. Dickerson, Lewis, Eric Dickerson, Adrian Peterson, Jamal Lewis, Barry Sanders, Terrell Davis, Chris Johnson, O.J. Simpson. Those are it. And Adrian Peterson is the only one that came close to breaking the record. I believe he was about I want to say 8 yards short. I want to say, no, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Yeah, 8 yards short. Adrian Peterson was 9 yards short his year of breaking the record. He had 2,097 yards. But right now, Derrick Henry is on pace to get about 1,800 to 1,900 yards. He's very, very close. And the last 3 teams we're facing are not good rush defenses at all. So that's that on that. And let's see. P. Hicks says, do you think Fulton will make a difference coming back? Well, it depends if he plays or not. I think he would definitely help. And honestly enough, I would feel and Monty and Zach, thank y'all for straightening me out. Again, y'all already know me. If I make a mistake, call me out on it. So Money Cartel, both of y'all are right. Appreciate it. Thank y'all for calling me out on my BS. Appreciate that. That's what we do. We tell the truth. And if I'm wrong, call me out on it. So I definitely appreciate that. Appreciate that, Money Cartel. Appreciate that for letting me know. But yes, let's see. I know Joseph had something on Facebook. I'm gonna try to bring that up right quick before we get into talking about the Detroit Lions. Let's see. I know he did because he usually gives me one. So let's see. He said, which game will determine for us by winning the AFC South? Is it Green Bay resting Aaron Rodgers? Which game will determine for us by winning the AFC Championship? Honestly, that Packer game could be one where we could win the division. That's going to be a very, very tough game to win. Again, I think if we keep winning and the Colts lose one of the next 2, I think it's pretty much all she wrote. I think we wrap up the division no matter what. Because again, as long as we finish with the same record or better, we're going to win the division. So as long as we're not 10-6, Colts 11-5, or Colts 12-4 and we're 11-5, then we're good. We're in a good situation. And Zach, no, I'm not going to shut my pie hole. I gave y'all some love. You shut your pie hole, sir. I'm kidding. I'm just having some fun. I'm just having some fun with y'all. So, and also, of course, he's asking about, the Predators going down to 50 games. I mean, yeah, I hate it. We hate shortened seasons, but with COVID, I definitely understand. With COVID, definitely understand. You want to keep people safe. You want to be able to give some people maybe a chance to be able to come to games and things like that. So that's something that that we have to watch out for. I mean, the NBA is having a short season as well. I believe they're going down to about 55, 60 games or something like that as well. So, I mean, the NBA is not starting until late December and everything. So both of those seasons are going to be kicking off momentarily before the end of this year. So I definitely look forward to that. But I want to ask y'all something. Again, I put this out last night because this is a good discussion that was had. The question is, what is more reasonable? What is more obtainable, I should say? Because Austin and Zach of A to Z Sports put this out. 72 games for the NBA. Thank you for that. Zach and Austin of A to Z Sports put this out. The Titans could possibly be the first team in NFL history to have a 4,000-yard passer, 2 1,000-yard receivers, and a 2,000-yard rusher all in the same year. Which one of those three things is the most obtainable? Which one of those three is most likely to happen? I have my answer. I know which one I believe is the most obtainable, the one that I believe can be achieved the easiest. But I want to hear from some of y'all. What do you think? Is it Tannehill getting 4,000 yards, which he is 791 yards away from? Is it A.J. Brown or Corey Davis? Because both of them, all they got to do is average about 55 yards a game to get to theirs. They're each about maybe about I want to say about 165 and 165 yards away, respectively, away from 1,000 yards each. Or Derrick Henry hitting 2,000 yards, which he is 468 yards away. All of those goals are obtainable. I agree. And we see Zach coming in saying Tannehill getting 4,000 yards. Money Cartel says 2 1,000-yard receivers. Titan Up Podcast says 2 1,000-yard receivers. They're both only like 150 away, which is right. I believe A.J. Brown, I want to say, is 163 yards away because he has 2 more yards than Corey Davis. Corey Davis is 165 yards away. He has more catches, has 5 more catches than A.J. Brown. So, Zach says, honestly, with the weakness of the rush defenses we're about to play, Henry could get his 2,000 yards easier. Now, I could understand that. I mean, let's think about this. And I'm just going to throw this out. Let's just say Derrick Henry, if Derrick Henry has 3 200-yard games, he'll get it. If Derrick Henry has, I'm trying to see. Let's see. If Derrick Henry has if he has 3 straight games of 150 yards, I mean, that has him about 18 yards shy. So one of those games, if it's like around 150 yards, one of those games he needs to have about 170, 180, and maybe another game he has maybe like, and here's another example. Let's just say one game he has like 180. Then has another game, let's say he has like 125. And then one more game has like 150, has like, had to have like another 160 or something like that. If you do that, he's close. So again, he would have to average about 156 yards a game to do it. But I mean, if he has another 200-yard game and then has let's just say a 130, and let's just go for kicks and giggles. Let's say 145. That would do it. He would have to have well over 100 yards to do it. So I think that's definitely obtainable, but not easy. But I think AZ Mick and a few others, Money Cartel, they agree with what I'm going to say. I think A.J. Brown and Corey Davis each having 2,000 yards is the most easily obtainable of the three milestones, in my opinion. I think those two getting 1,000 yards apiece, I think is obtainable, and it would be a long time since the Titans have had two 1,000-yard receivers since, I want to say, 2003. I want to say when Derek Mason and Drew Bennett, I believe, both had 1,000 yards of receiving in the same year. So I want to say that is the case. But I think that's the most obtainable, I think, is the two 1,000-yard receivers. I think number 2 is Derrick Henry going for 2,000 yards. And then I think the least obtainable is Ryan Tannehill getting 4,000 yards. Because, I mean, Tannehill is like 791 yards away. So he would have to have at least a couple of three. We would have to have at least three 300-yard games. He would have to have over 300 yards in every game to at least have a shot at that. He would probably have to have at least a couple, maybe 325s. He would have to have at least a couple of 320s or something like that. If he has a couple of if he has a couple of 300-yard games, and then let's say 250, he could reach it. Or if he would have to have at least 260-some yards. He has to average about 264 yards a game. So he would have to have maybe a 300-yard game, maybe a 270, and then, another, maybe another 225, something like that. He would have to have a high 270, 280 yard. He would have to have at least another 300-yard game, honestly. I don't think there's a way he could do it. I mean, I think the only other way he could do it is it would have to be about over 260 a game. That's how he would do it. 263, 264 a game, he could make it. So, obtainable, but a lot has to be done. But, y'all, I know I've been rambling on and on, so let's get to Week 15, Titans-Lions. At noon on Sunday on CBS. Again, the Titans with a victory and a Baltimore loss, or maybe even a Vegas loss and a Miami loss. Let me put up the scenario again. This is how they could get into the playoffs. Titans win and a Baltimore loss, or Titans win, Vegas loses, Miami loses, and Cleveland wins. We're in. Or Tennessee wins, Vegas lose, Miami lose, and then us or Cleveland wins a strength of victory tiebreaker over Miami. So those are the ways the Tennessee Titans could get into the playoffs on Sunday. Again, the Ravens play the Jags, so them losing to the Jags, I don't think it's going to happen. The Raiders and Chargers, I mean, Justin Herbert could be winning Rookie of the Year. So, and that Raiders defense is bad. It is very, very bad. So they do have the Chargers could play spoiler, and I'm trying to see who the heck Miami is playing, but I'm having trouble bringing them up right now. But let's get to the BluEnforcer 4 points to victory against this Lions team. And I noticed I watched them quite a bit play Green Bay last week. And one thing that I think they could definitely do is for Tannehill to reach that mark, spread the love. Let's get everybody involved. Don't just look at A.J. Brown all the time. Go to Corey Davis some. Go to Jonnu some. Jeff Swain has become a target. If Darrington Evans plays, which I did not see Darrington Evans on the injury report, shockingly, I'm trying to take a look and see. I did not see him on the list. So something tell me Darrington Evans practiced fully. So thank you, Zach. I know you got to go. I appreciate it, Captain Trips. What's going on? But spread the love. Get everybody involved. Let everybody have some fun because Aaron Rodgers, he was throwing it around the yard on Detroit. I mean, and if you let A.J. Brown get into some space, he'll run for a touchdown. Everybody else is getting involved. Devontae Adams got caught against a very bad secondary, and he ran for a touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling got a score in. So Aaron Rodgers was spreading the ball, and there may be some room for Tannehill to run if he needs to run. So, I see the Dolphins are playing the Patriots. So, the Patriots still have a little bit to play for as well. So we can cheer for the Patriots as well. The Browns, I believe, are playing the Giants. So if Vegas loses, if Miami loses, and Cleveland wins, and we win, we're in. Plain and simple. So that's what we could do. Or if the Jags pull the upset, then we're in. So that's what we got to do. Spread the love. Get everybody involved and everything. So spread that ball out some. Let everybody get a taste. And, of course, we got to give the Beast the ball. Let the Beast run amok. And I think he will against this defense. And number 2, again, get off to a fast start. And as our lovely Miss Loretta Turnley will always say, and I'm going to try to pull up her video that she did, obviously. And, I mean, she says it plain and simple. Tighten up, don't lighten up. So that means tighten up, play hard, and tighten up, play hard, and don't lighten up. Don't let Detroit think that they have life. Don't let Detroit have any type of life. Don't let them even think that they have a chance to win this game. Put your pedal to the metal, keep your foot on their throat, and make them submit. Make them tap out. That's what you got to do. So if you get a lead, keep it. Get up 14-0. Get up 21-0 or 21-3. Don't even give them an opportunity. Get after them. Get after them and score. So that's something that we got to do. Get off the fast starts and don't lighten up. Don't let up. Jump on them early. Keep the pedal to the metal. And this defense, we talk. A lot of people talk about how bad we are on third down defensively. Detroit is not that far behind. Yes, we are last in third down percentage. Detroit is 28th. 28th in the league on third down. They give up right at close to 47% on third down, 46.5%. They give up on third down. And in their last game with Green Bay, they gave up over 70% on third down in their last game. And in their last 3 games, they've given up about 48% on third down. So they give up third down quite a bit and everything. So that's something that could be an advantage. One thing that we got to do is stay on the field, sustain drives. If we do that, keep their offense off the field, score points, we can win this game easily. Point number 3, and this goes to the other side, defensively, we got to keep building the confidence. Get after them, be aggressive, don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid of the high-power offense that they may have, because they do have weapons. They do have, you got to stop Adrian Peterson and DeAndre Swift. They got a couple good backs. We know Adrian Peterson is probably on his way to Canton. He's definitely heading to the Hall of Fame. DeAndre Swift is the future. He's definitely a good back. They definitely got weapons with Marvin Jones and Mohamed Sanu and TJ Hawkinson. They got weapons. And Danny Amendola, even though he's a little slow, he can still catch some balls. So Detroit has weapons, and that's something that we got to be mindful of and we got to watch out for and everything. So, but again, what we have to do, we have to attack them. There could be some opportunities for sacks because even though the Packers defense is not very good, they got to Matt Stafford quite a few times because Matt Stafford does tend to hold on to the ball a little bit too long. So that could open up the door for us to get some sacks. So, I mean, even though our pass rush stinks, you know, there could be a chance there. And last but not least, be prepared and don't, as a pastor would tell me, don't fall for the setup. Don't fall for the setup. This is a trap game because we cannot be looking ahead to a showdown with Green Bay on Sunday night. Can't do that. Take care of business first. Don't fall for the setup. Be prepared because, again, Matt Stafford suffered an injury with his ribs and his thumb. He did not practice today, and the Lions are not very optimistic about him playing. So it could be Chase Daniel under center. You got to be ready for both quarterbacks just in case. So be prepared, be ready, don't fall for the setup. And which leads to my prediction. I don't think the Titans will fall for the setup. I think they're just going to keep winning. And I think the Titans will finally get it done at home, which they have had some trouble doing recently, and that is winning at home. But they're going to get the job done. They're going to take care of business. I think they're going to win 41-20. They're going to win 41-20. I just don't think Detroit's going to be able to keep up. And we're going to go to 10-4 and have our first double-digit win season in quite some time. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to more than 10 wins, and let's go and make that happen. So now, to end the show, we have the Blue Bombshell. And there were quite a few. One that was brought to my attention, let's see. Of course, congratulations to the Predators, to the Nashville Predators, to Pekka Rinne, our great goalie, Pekka the Rinne Wall. Him and his girlfriend just had their first child. So a baby boy. So congratulations to Pekka Rinne and his girlfriend. A little bit of Dunce of the Day news. The Booger, Jeremy Boger, the Booger, is going to be the referee in this game against Detroit. So get ready for the refs to try to screw us some. Jeremy Boger, Jerome Boger. That guy stinks as a ref. Terrible. But also, one last piece of news that just came out not too long ago. Of course, I am always a big fan of the show Jared and the GM. Jared and the GM. And that is that GM, that the former Titan GM, Floyd Reese, has resigned from 102.5 The Game. He has decided to step back and step down from that show. So with Jared, right now, the show right now is going to be called Stillman and Company until they find a suitable replacement. Obviously, I would love to be that replacement. I would love to get in on that. And maybe that's something that I'll definitely look into and see about possibly being a co-host or something like that. I would love that opportunity. Definitely. Tighten Up Podcast says Slim and Huskies in Memphis. I have, I want to say, I think there is a Slim and Huskies in Memphis. I want to say, or could be coming to Memphis at some point. If I'm not mistaken, I got to take a look at that. But I want to say I think there is one here. I think it's in Midtown here in Memphis. I'm trying to see if I can find it. So let me see. Yep, there is a Slim and Huskies here on Union Avenue. So there's definitely a Slim and Huskies here. Maybe I will check it out. They said it just opened up, so maybe that's something I will check out. I would definitely check out Slim and Huskies. I saw like the menu in Nashville, but they didn't really have a pizza that I liked or was one of mine. I'm more of a barbecue pizza kind of guy. That's really what I like. If it ain't that, it's cheese. Those are my two favorite pizzas. Maybe that's something that we'll talk about. We'll go back to maybe talking about favorite foods. I know a long time ago I said, what would be a favorite food that you would have during a football game? So maybe that's something that we'll talk about. What's up, Keith Hill? What's going on? But y'all, that's going to pretty much do it for tonight's show. I thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to get ready for Sunday. Again, y'all know what to do. Make sure y'all follow me on Facebook at TNT Enforcers. Make sure y'all check me out there. Make sure y'all check me out on Instagram at Titans_N_truth. And also on Twitter at TNT BluEnforcer. I have shared this show out on Facebook. I have also made sure I tried to share it out on Twitter, but I was a little bit behind. But I will make sure that this gets out on Twitter as well. But guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in to Titans and Truth. I am Chris, aka BluEnforcer. Let's go get this win. And of course, in closing, as I will always say, we got to tighten up. Tighten up. Tighten up. Good night, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in.